Okay, and the translation was day, but very carefully. One may ask how Krishna's past times could be interrupted by a demon. Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur answers this question by saying that although the transcendental pleasure being enjoyed by the coward boys could not be stopped unless they stop the transcendental pleasure of their various activities, they could not eat their lunch. There at lunch, Agasura appeared by the arrangement of Yogamaya, so that for the time being they could stop their activities and take lunch. Changing varieties are the mother of enjoyment. The coward boys would continuously play, then stop, and then again enjoy in a different way. Therefore, every day a demon could come and interrupt their sporting pastimes. The demon would be killed, and then the boys would engage again in their transcendental pastimes. Hare Krishna. Nama Om Shivadaya Vishmashtaya Paduraya Givadanda Swami Ramadi Manasi Saraswati Goravani Vicharini Shri Shoshinyavadi Pascha Chidish Harini. Who'd like to take the first line on? We're going to give a class on each sentence. Jiva? What's your line, okay?
Like, from one may ask how Krishna's pastimes could be interpreted by a demon, that's all?
Yeah.
That's all I did?
Yeah. You have to really use your brain. Okay. Who would be the next one?
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur answers this question by saying that although the transcendental pleasure could not be stopped unless they stopped the transcendental pleasure, various activities they could not eat their lunch.
Okay, great. And you're going to talk on that. You give a little mini Bhagavatam class. Next one. Sartak? Okay. Your line is, therefore, at lunchtime, Agasura appeared by the arrangement of Yogamaya, so that for the time being, they could stop their activities and take lunch. Next. You'll do that. Changing varieties are the mother of enjoyment. Very good. Go for it. And the next one, too.
The cowherd boys continuously play and stop and then again enjoy in a different way.
Thank you. To be really creative here. And the next one?
Therefore, every day a demon would come and interrupt their sporting pastimes.
Okay. The demon would be killed, and then the boys would engage again in their transcendental pastimes. Okay? So give yourselves a minute to give your thoughts together. Would you like 2 minutes? Amala, how are you doing? Are you still in the snow? Okay, yes. Come on over. Yes. Thanks so much. don't know what do you want to do with this. So everyone pass it on, okay. Do you need another few seconds? Let it go. You want to come here? I'll show you the line you've got. Okay. The demon would be killed, and then the boys would engage again in their transcendental pastimes.
Okay.
Give a class, please.
Okay, for how long?
3 minutes, you can talk. But everyone's ready pretty much right now? Okay. All right, so we'll begin with Jiva, I think, right? Jiva Daya. Read the sentence so we can get a refresher, and then just speak about it, okay? And then after we're finished, everyone, we'll leave a little period for questions and answers, deliberations. Do you need to see the sentence one more time? You're very much okay, whenever you're ready, you're ready.
Yes. So we see in this translation, Maharaj Parikshit is informing about how even the demigods were awaiting the death of Aghasura. And Aghasura was like unable to see that there was like Krishna was having a very good time. He was enjoying in the forest while his brothers and sister are dead. So we see he's being envious of Krishna, and that's the first quality of like a Mayavad or a demon. You can say that you are being envious of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. And the first line of the purport says, one may ask how Krishna's pastime could be interrupted by a demon. So that's answered by envy. Like a demon is being envious of Krishna's pleasurable time, and then he wants to stop that because he could not see. So if we see that Krishna is all pervading, he is all attractive, he has 6 opulences, and he is the supreme enjoyer. And what is our position? Our position is to be the eternal servants of Krishna. We are meant to serve Krishna, to take part in his enjoyment. But that's our internal identity. If one person does not realize that, he will want to go against that, and that's what demon is doing. He is interrupting the Krishna's fun time. Why? Because he is not understanding that his position is to serve Krishna. But Krishna is all pervading, all transcendental, right? So whatever is happening is also for his own pleasure. So if you see, even if he is being interrupted in his pastimes, he turns that situation in his favor, and he kills demons in such a way that it's very enjoyable and everyone has fun. So I think, one may ask how Krishna's pastime could be interrupted by a demon.
So, very nice. Beautiful. And the next person is Vasant Mahaprabhu. Okay. And your line is? Srila Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur answered this question by saying that although the transcendental pleasure being enjoyed by the cowherd boys could not be stopped unless they stopped the transcendental pleasure of their various activities, they could not eat their lunch.
So, Aghasur being very furious, the coward boys could not be stopped unless because they had to be in the transnational pleasure of being enjoying after lunch. So Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur says that answer that the Aghasur being a very big demon who he's a part of the Yog Maya, which is in his Maya the Krishna's pastimes had been entered by a demon. So it cannot be like Krishna's pastimes cannot be disturbed.
Very much. Next person is. This is a good exercise.
So, I have small points. Therefore,
Shall we read this?
therefore, at lunchtime, Aghasur appeared by the arrangement of Yogmaya, so that for the time being, they could stop their activities and take lunch. Yes, Jivdev Prabhu said that the demons, they are like plaything of Krishna in the pastimes, and Yogmaya we see in every pastimes. Yogmaya play a role, like sometimes making something forget for Brahma or maybe Mother Yashoda, or in this time she bought one demon. So yes, we want to be. I realize that Maya will be there. It's either we are controlled by Mahamaya or Yogmaya, but Maya will be there.
Maharaj, my line is changing varieties is the mother of enjoyment. And Prabhupada mentions this in purports and in his classes many times, that changing varieties is the mother of enjoyment. And I've noted down a few points on that. It's very true also if we see in material sense also. If you don't have variety, we cannot enjoy. For example, just imagine we have to eat the same prasadam every day, all time. Just imagine how it will be. It will be very boring, right? We would not want. Oh, Krishna. So, we cannot really enjoy that. And enjoyment comes from variety. So, in Krishna's pastimes also, he needs variety. So, what happens is Krishna is playing and enjoying with his cowherd men. And now he needs some variety. So, what happens? Yogmaya sends demons. So now demons will bring a variety, and then Krishna will fight with them, and then they'll be killed. So this is to enhance Krishna's pastimes. Demons are being sent, and then Krishna kills the demon. So he enjoys variety in that way. So I think that is their
The demons are adding some
masala. Yes, you can say that.
Spicy guys, spicy dudes. All right, who's next?
So my line was, Marsh, the cowherd boys would continuously play, then stop, and then enjoy in a different way. I was reflecting that with Krishna, there is no stop in enjoyment, because when the cowherd boys are with Krishna, they're essentially in spiritual world. And in spiritual world, there is no end to bliss, unlike end to the bliss or happiness. But in material world, it's temporary. So in spiritual world, cowherd boys can go on playing again and again and again without getting tired ever. So much so that they can even forget to eat or take care of themselves. But Krishna doesn't forget to take care of his devotees or his friends and any relative that he has a relationship with. So he made sure that everybody has a timeout, that they're stopping and then eating and then enjoying in a different way. So unless something big happens, they won't stop because they want to enjoy all the time with Krishna. So then demons come every day, a different one comes, so then they can have a different kind of enjoyment, different kind of experience every day. So I guess Krishna here is like fulfilling their desires in a way that their parents are happy because their children are eating on time, and the boys are happy because they're spending time with Krishna, and even the timeout is adventurous for them. And Krishna is happy because he get to spend time with his devotees.
My line is, therefore, every day a demon would come and interrupt their supporting pastimes. All I could realize from this line was, as demons were coming every single time to interrupt their pastimes, same in our lives, disturbances comes whenever we go and try to engage and in Krishna consciousness. So obstacles will come when we try to serve Krishna, but Krishna will protect us as he killed every demon whoever came to interrupt the pastimes. Same for us, whenever there is any obstacles or if Maya is attacking us, he's always there to protect us and help us to go back to him again. So, yes.
The demon would be killed, and then boys would engage again in their transcendental pastimes. This made me think about the fact that how in material world, if we read one thing again and again, we get bored out of it. The next time you read it, you're like, okay, now I'm done. If you read it again, then you're like, okay, I don't want to read it again. But the more we read about Krishna's pastime, similar kind of things are happening. Demons are coming, they're getting killed. They're coming, they're getting killed. But it gets more and more exciting, right? And then this also reminds me to contemplate on a verse from Brahma Samhita, where Brahma said, Advaitam achyutam anadim ananta rupam adyam purana purusham navayovanam cha. That Krishna, his pastimes are eternal, and these pastimes are happening since a long, long time, even before the universe was started. Still, he's Navayovanam cha. Whenever we read these wonderful pastimes, they get more and more exciting. You read one time and then later you read commentaries by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and different acharya. It just enhances the taste a lot. And that way, Krishna is Navayovanam cha, and his pastimes are also very exciting.
Okay, nice. So, Ishan, what we'll do is we'll ask you to choose one line and just be done. You got 3 minutes. Okay.
Right now.
Right now.
Right now? Oh.
Everyone else is covered, right?
Sure. I like. I like the line, but I think this line is taken before. Is that fine, Maharaj? Yeah. So the line is changing. The line where changing varieties is the mother of enjoyment, which is very interesting. At lunchtime, Aghasura appeared by the arrangement of Yogamaya, so that for the time being they could stop the activities and take lunch. So I think that's very important as well to understand that that if we apply it in our life as well, if we break or if we stop our Krishna consciousness and think of taking breaks in the middle, saying that, oh, this is I'm not Krishna conscious at this time, I'm Krishna conscious at that time, and using Krishna consciousness as more of an escapist activity rather than making it your life and soul. Demons will always come in like Aghasura at lunchtime. So that is something very interesting. And changing varieties is the mother of enjoyment. That's a beautiful line that Prabhupada has written. So, which I think. Changing varieties is the mother of enjoyment. I think Monil Prabhu already spoke about that particular line, but it's a beautiful line and shows how one can never be bored of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he's ever wonderful, and it's almost like the place that you arrange Maharaj. They're always attractive and always beautiful and ever changing. So we love that kind of changes and enjoyment, and it's always very enjoyable.
And now we'll just do little reflections on this subject. We know from the nectar of devotion that Srila Prabhupada explains practically every day comes and sent an asura to have to do with Krishna. Like every day was common. And it went on so frequently that Nanda Maharaj, who was the head of this states, and move somewhere and plant it in the ground, anchor somewhere else, just for Krishna's safety. There was a lot to worry about, and Garga Muni, the family priest, also, he said, let's go to the shed and I'll tell you a little bit about your boys, And he didn't want that to be spread out, because it would create unnecessary alarm and tension. So there was a lot of, let's say, danger lurking around, even in Krishna's pastimes. And we discussed it before. Krishna's Leela can be compared to Herod's, who was a terrorist during the time of Jesus. Jesus was apparently born in a manger with cows. But I heard otherwise, that he was, born in a cave. It's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, so a few things about that. And Krishna didn't mind. We're talking about interruption. He didn't mind the interruptions. He really didn't mind. I mean, he loves to fight. He loves to take on, and some adversaries. And one important point here is that in Vaikuntha Dham, there is no fighting. Fighting only goes on in this world. And so that's what he experienced. So when we get there one day to Vaikuntha Loka or Krishna Loka, we may not encounter friction in the same way that we experience in the mundane world. But I would just say that in terms of Krishna's pastimes and a variety of them, you could take your pick. Do you like Krishna as a baby crawling around, getting into trouble? Do you like him when the demons are coming? Or do you like Krishna in his pastimes with Radharani on a conjugal level? Or would you like Krishna just to be a pandit, as he is with Arjuna, a friend also? You have your choices, different faces of the Lord, and you have your own preferences. Prabhupada was given broccoli and he didn't care for it. He was given pasta, didn't care for it. To each his own. It was a little bit like that. It's a matter of preference. Also, when it came to eating, because we're talking about lunchtime, right? When it came to eating, devotees sometimes wonder, what did Prabhupada eat first? Was it the ginger? Was it the sweet? Was it the sour? Was it the bulk, with like the bread? Or we were all curious, what did he go at first? Because whatever he did, we thought there was a scientific basis behind it, which it, to a large extent is. And then we would copy him. We would copy him. And the different tastes are necessary in order to, stoke up some fire in you. I made out like a beautiful Indian meal is like the best on the planet, provided there's no deep fry. Maybe air fry can work, but no deep fry. And sometimes people joke about, in the month of March, April and May, the roads are so hot you could cook your chapatis on it. And you probably can. Yeah. Lunch was a pleasurable thing for the Cowherd boys, but to interrupt, you see, Krishna has no preferences either. He likes it all. He likes all the leelas. Even if somebody's interrupting his lunch, that's okay, I'll take care of this. Variety is the spice of life. It really is. Sugar and spice and everything nice. Yeah, those are a few considerations. Lunchtime, I could have. Lunchtime is supposed to be your biggest meal of the day, isn't it? I think you will all agree to lunch is where you pack it in and it's so special. You don't want anybody to interrupt. And when it comes to eating, you want to just love the food. You don't want to talk to a lot of people. Or if there's any talking, it should be light. That's a directive from Prabhupada. One of our godbrothers, Navayugandhar Swami, he just silence, I've been sitting near him. He'll make all these gestures. So he's on a strict vow during prasadam. I guess there's different reasons for it. If you're taking prasadam, lunch or whatever, and you're talking at the same time, naturally some things are going to fly in the air and maybe land on your nose. Or you ever had that kind of stuff before? One of our devotees, Sabhyasachan, he's coming from Halifax over here. Krishna had at lunchtime anyways in the pasturing grounds. You had rice and mixed with dahi, yogurt, and then there would be fruit in there as well. All mixed fruit. Probably was mango in there. And that was his preferences now. At Rajboga, there's this song, Pajabaka Tavatsala Shri Gora Hari, Shri Gora Hari, so he goes to Bihari. Yeah, and it's all about who's participating in the meals, It is Nanda and it's Yashoda, the gopis. In fact, if you look at those words in that song, you'll see there is a disciplic succession. There's a parampara, how it starts. It starts with some Pranjapasi, and that goes right on up to Radharani before it gets to Krishna. So there is a parampara there that you can study. And a word of caution, don't try to imitate the Pranjapasis too early. It is recommended in the Nectar of Devotion, eventually you may get there, right? When we get closer to the spontaneous service of what we call Raganuga Bhakti. But imagine this, Krishna, he's got this Leela going on in the spiritual world. And now he's coming for variety. Maybe it's a little bland up there. And now he's coming for something unique, where he gets a chance to use weapons. Because there's a side of Krishna where he's a Kshatriya, right? He's not a Brahmin. He comes more from the Vaishya Kshatriya background. And so you expect or anticipate that he's going to get into some kind of, conflict and resolution. And his idea of resolution, I'm just going to kill these guys, that's all. I'll take care of them. He tightens his belt before he goes into Kaliya, jumps off the kadamba tree, and he tightens the belt like some kind of wrestler, just to get ready, And he does take care of Kaliya. Kaliya also, by the way, is like a snake, a 100-hooded monster. And whereas Agasura is just one big fat guy. Yeah. And the devotees of the Lord are a little bit bewildered. Oh my God, yes, but Krishna was bewildered. Also, oh my God, they all went into his mouth. And I guess they're overconfident, thinking I'll take care of everything. Yeah. It's interesting, they initially thought that Agasura was a statue. Later on, they got to understand that, oh, maybe this is for adventure, let's have some fun. Yeah. And sometimes, like in the past, we line up devotees, sometimes younger people, for playing different roles. You know, you have your choice, Nanda. You have, it could be Kamsa, it could be, some sadhu and so on like that. But everyone wants to be a demon. Everyone wants to be a demon, I guess, because being a saint is too much like. Have you ever heard the tape? Does anybody use this term? Goody two shoes. Have you ever heard that before? Goody two shoes. Too pious, too bland. Because people are really proper and in general very dharmic. They can be a little bit on the bland side. I think a lot of us like spunky people. And but it's not like that with Krishna. But he's got the variety going for himself. And of course, wherever he is, his community is going to feel the same way. It'll be a mixed reaction. Ambivalence. Will be good and bad. The good and bad and the ugly is what he's going through. Good. I think does anybody have any questions? Anything at all? Yes, ma'am.
This was a general question. When we describe Krishna as well, someone similar whose pastimes also come as Jesus.
That Krishna is.
When we describe Krishna as pastimes,
Yeah.
someone who is born into a similar kind of network, family structure is also Jesus as well. So is there any similarity or is any research that's been done in terms of Jesus Christ and Krishna and?
Well, I remember years ago in the Windsor Star, there was an article. I recently just looked it up. Those were the days when newspapers were more popular, and those were the days when there were religious editors. They don't happen anymore. They've done away with that. That's my interesting. I read the article. I found it very. Were they doing parallels? So there was a lot of intrigue, just to begin with. A lot of intrigue between the newborn child and some tyrannical ruler, some terrorist. So in the case of Krishna, it's Kamsa. In the case of Jesus, it's Herod. I think they exhumed his body and they found he had gonorrhea and all kinds of, horrible diseases. And, yeah, it must have been a horrible lifestyle. They did talk about cows. There's a parallel there. Although recently I heard that Jesus was in a cave. He spent the night in a cave. There was an order that went around that all male children will be killed that were born in recent times. So that's one interesting thing. And in the case of Krishna, all of Vasudeva and Devaki's children will be killed. So that's there. One thing we can hook up to the Vedas. The three kings of the Orient, they're usually portrayed as quite dark, like they'd be from South India or Andhra Pradesh, something like that. And they followed the star, which led them to where Jesus was. So there's some links there. Krishna actively got involved in punishing people. Jesus didn't really do that. But he did get angry once when in the synagogues, he turned over all the tables which were used as gambling facilities.
In a synagogue?
Pardon me?
There were gambling tables in the synagogue.
Yeah, well, it got corrupted. It got toxic. It's easy to see that those kind of things could happen. That, say you have a hall and you have people with different stalls, and they got their wares, and it could just really turn into something not nice. So Jesus got very angry, like Krishna gets angry. When it comes to Christianity, like one of my good friends, he's a Christian teacher, teaches Christianity in one of the colleges in Willowdale, I think it is. Yeah. And he told me once that there is a lot of like Krishna consciousness or the Bhakti movement, you call it, has a lot of similarities to Jesus, to Christianity. Because of the Leelas, Now the Catholics get more involved in Leelas. Conjugal love and, I guess, friendship, which the evangelical or Protestant churches don't touch. In fact, you don't find that Mary is honored by them. And, but there is one common denominator, and that is Jesus. I'm sure there's other things we can consider. But certainly a lot of parallels are there. Yes.
I remember reading this pastime of Jesus in which he turned the tables upside down. I believe what has happened was that in the synagogue, they were butchering the animals because they had a belief that during Passover, if they kill those animals, then they take their sins.
Yes.
So then Jesus was like, "You've made the house of my Lord as a house of business."
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Jesus was like, "I'm not going to let this happen in Jerusalem," and he was very angry, and then they had to stop the Passover.
Yeah, things have become corrupted. It's a little bit almost like a Buddha flavor now. Okay?
Yes, that's right.
And the slaughter. So the rabbis, who are like the Brahmins, equivalent to our Brahmins, they had kind of lost touch. They lost touch with the Dharma, basically. And they were the ones that also wanted Jesus to be. They were very threatened by him because he was very popular.
Rome was actually not in favor of killing Jesus. The
That's
Pharisees, they just conspired in a way that they have to do it before Passover because they couldn't do it after Passover. So it was a big conspiracy that way.
Oh, yes. And Pontius Pilate, who was the main ruler at that time.
Yes.
Pontius Pilate, he was under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I saw one theatrical presentation by Pontius Pilate, and his wife was kind of very supportive, and Pontius Pilate he had some feelings for Jesus, and but the rabbis were on his case, get rid of him, because they felt very threatened for their livelihood and everything. They were losing ground. And then the Romans were against Jesus.
They were against because of Jesus, all the religious people were coming in Jerusalem, and so they couldn't handle all that crowd, and it was like a new religious leader is coming.
They couldn't handle the superstar.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, and they felt threatened because he's speaking very truthfully. He's living like a sannyasi, and very contrary to the way that they were living. Good stuff. Bruce, thank you. Oh, did you have some? Yeah. Thanks for removing the snow, by the way.
Thanks for engaging. Maharaj, you mentioned everyone has their different preferences.
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned one may like Krishna as a child, one may like Krishna in a different way. My question was, when Prabhupada came here, he introduced the deity worship of Radha, Krishna, or even Srinati and different deities. Specifically, when we see people from Indian origin, they are more inclined towards worshipping Laddu Gopal. And I just wanted to ask, like, as per ISKCON deity ministry, what are the standards are we allowed to have? What are our thoughts about Laddu Gopal?
Well, I just know Laddu Gopal is very common in people's homes. I think it's like a very strong home deity. I don't know that it's not a major deity in mandirs. I haven't seen it. I think it's rare. But for like home deities, yeah, he's cute. People love that Leela, taking the Laddu. I guess it depends on which region of India you're coming from. But in ISKCON, our preferences are like everybody loves Jagannath and Narasimha. So everybody loves the T-shirts there with those images. Preference, yeah, preference for sure. That one devotee, Murali Gupta, he was a devotee of Ram. And the Lord led his Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was suggesting, why don't you go to Krishna? And then he couldn't sleep that night. He was so troubled. He said, Ram is for me. He just couldn't relate to Krishna so much. So he didn't really want to offend Mahaprabhu by disobeying him for his not following his suggestion. But rather Chaitanya Mahaprabhu congratulated him and said, you are the real thing. You're the real devotee. Because you can't see, stepping away, retreating from your actual deity. So that's real solid bhakti, So Mahaprabhu recognized that and he really appreciated him very much. Yeah. Okay, I guess we can go.